Good morning, folks. Welcome back. This is Chris in the Vol Triangle. Not the Bermuda Triangle, but the Vol Triangle. No, I haven't got lost. My aircraft didn't disappear somewhere over the Vol Triangle. Listen, there's a dirty little secret out there that governments don't want you to know about. And the latest one we discovered, courtesy of City Press, I believe it is, South African newspaper, is South Africa is also part of this. You'll notice that United Nations peacekeeping missions often have very enthusiastic donor nations. For instance, Bangladesh. Bangladesh will frequently contribute troops to peacekeeping. And one might wonder why that is. Is it for training? Is it for experience? Is it because they're good humanitarians? Well, maybe they're all that, but a major reason why they do it is the coin. Most of these countries get a payment from the United Nations, much of that coming out of the United States pocket, out of our purse, to pay for UN DPKO, Department of Peacekeeping Operations. We pay, and then they pay these contributing nations a lot of money, a lot of coin for soldiers, and usually the amount of money paid is far in excess of any salary the soldier has, and most of the countries pocket the money. They give a token amount or nothing to their troops, and they keep the money for themselves. Well, we're discovering now that South Africa is one of these greedy nations as well. Now, this may be perceived in the wrong light, but how else do you describe the fact that the allowances for soldiers in the DRC coming from the Southern African Development Community, we now know, are 108,000 Rand per month, unless the media reports got it wrong. And only 30% of that goes to the troopies. 29,000 or 32,000 Rand, so 29%, 30%. Yeah, well, there's your dirty little secret, folks. If you're wondering why SADC has troops in the DRC where they have no business being, there's no national interest there, there's no regional interest there. Yes, I know that the DRC became part of SADC many years ago, but the mess in the DRC has nothing to do with Botswana, Mozambique, Angola, Namibia, Eswatini, Lesotho, or South Africa. So why are troops there? Arguably, the mission to Cabo Delgado made much more sense, although it was poorly equipped and left prematurely. But the mission of DRC, it's like people are looking for an excuse to be the big man on campus. Well, look at me, I've sent troops somewhere. Well, the dirty little secret here is SADC is paying 108,000 Rand per month per troop. And apparently, in the case of South Africa, the government is pocketing 70% of that. In addition to that, the press report indicates that troops, now this one's hard to believe, is this how bad a condition the South African Defense Force is in? The troops had to purchase tents out of their own pocket for 5,000 Rand? That's absolutely insane. The mission of the military is to provide meals, proper weapons, proper defensive equipment, maintenance, living accommodations. Even if it's a foxhole, they provide you the resources to make a foxhole, and all the other necessities to wage war or to conduct peacekeeping operations. You shouldn't be sent on a mission and taking money out of your pocket. Not only is that reprehensible, it's immoral. The purpose of the South African Defense Force is not for them to take money out of their pocket to cover missions that politicians send them off on, and many of them die, or some of them die. That's just wrong. Is the press report wrong? Well, given the history of these peacekeeping operations, which I'm very familiar with, especially across Africa, I suspect that the report is correct, at least in many of the aspects of what's going on here. Now, there was also an element put in this article to create animosity between the officers and the enlisted, and I think that that's shallow reporting and dishonest to some degree, talking about how the officers get an allowance, the staff officers, and they're supposed to use it to pay for accommodation, but oftentimes they sleep with the troops. Well, that may be true, but the full intent of saying that is to create friction between officers and enlisted, and that's not helpful. That's not helpful. The bottom line here is that the troopies should be getting the 108,000 Rand. Yeah, they should be getting it, not the government. But hey, now maybe you understand why your soldiers are in the DRC and trapped there by a government that has no business being in the DRC. Why is Ramaphosa and the ANC and GNU got troops in the DRC? Lots of kerfluffle and noise in Parliament a few weeks back about, oh, these troops after 16 died. But they're still there. Haven't come back. Now, why is that? Why are they still out there putting their life on the line? And frankly, being embarrassed by being outclassed by guerrilla groups that are better equipped, better trained, better disciplined. From your government, we demand accountability from our government. When the Abu Ghraib prison scandal broke, we demanded accountability from the U.S. government. They owe answers to their citizens. They don't get to operate in the dark. We have professional military, and we expect our soldiers and our officers behave in a professional manner, regardless of circumstances, how dire they are. We demanded accountability. Eventually we got it for Abu Ghraib. Maybe not to the outcome that people wanted. We certainly got visibility on top of that horrific, shameful episode of the prisons in Iraq. You should demand accountability to the South African government. Why are the troopies not getting all that money? And if the money's being used to pay for their needs there, then why are they buying tents out of their own pocket? I think it's a fair question. What do you say, South Africa? Have a lovely day. Cheers.